Hey everybody, this is Troy from Michigan Prospectors. I have here some genuine Colorado gold ore that I purchased a while back, and I want to see if there's anything in it. This is gold-bearing oxides. I've got two different samples here to choose from, and this one is gold-bearing sulfides. So what I want to do today, this one is a little bit, there's not a lot of powder in this one, so I'm going to choose the sulfides today. There's a little bit of loose powder in there, down there in the bag. And I'm going to open it up and dump it into a pan. And then we're going to see if there's any loose gold in the package. I'm going to guess the gold is probably bound up in the ore, so I'm not going to expect to get a lot. Let me change that camera angle. Get in here and not block the camera. The light is terrible. I realized that in my last video, so I'm going to be fixing that. So, I'm going to get all this out here into the pan. Well, there's some sparklies in there. I think first I'm going to examine this with a microscope and a magnifier. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera. Well, there's some big chunkies in there of some stuff. Well, there's some sparklies I see. Alright, let me see if I can show you. I don't see anything jumping out at me. There's a lot of sparkling here. So the gold is probably bound up in the ore, but it feels like it's going to be easy to crush. Let me see if I can get you a view of that. Don't know if the light is good enough for me to show you the sparkling in there. Probably not. I won't know until I get in editing. But anyway, you can see some sparkling in there. This one's got some good sparkling. Yeah, it's not going to catch it. Is it? I don't know. I can't tell if you can see that or not. But there's some stuff in there. I think what I'm going to do, I want to see if there's any loose gold in here, but then again, there's a lot of particles. I'll probably filter this out and pan out what's in here. Put the rocks aside. Take these big boys, put them aside. We're going to crush them. We're going to inspect them with a microscope too, and a magnifying glass later on. It'd be cool if there's some gold loose in here. I don't know if there's any gold in any of this at all or not. I honestly, I got the wrong pan for this, I think. But let's try to get as much of this dry stuff as we can through this screen. I'll rinse that out later. There's not a lot of big stuff in there at all, really. But I'll put that in here and check that out separate. And that's going to get finely crushed later on anyway. Now we have here some pretty fine, what is that, 120 mesh. I wonder if I should classify that down a little bit more. It's pretty fine powder. I think I'll pan that. That is not 120. I don't know, it's some off-brand. It says 120, but it's not. I went and got my, there's a 50 and there's a 100 mesh. 50 is pretty fine. We'll run this through 50 right here. There's some little pieces of 50. There we got it. here's the 50. I'm going to pan that out first. Actually, I'm going to check this out first. I'm not going to pan it though. I'm just going to visually examine it because I want to crush that dry. I'll pan this out. I'll pan this out. There's the superfines. This was loose in the package. And there's the 50 plus. I've got the fine ore in here, the really, really fine stuff. A little bit too much water. So I got a little pan here I'm going to pour off the excess water into. Just some of that water out. I'm seeing a lot of black sands. It's actually surprising. This is just what was in the bottom of that bag. So I'm just going to pan that a minute. It's super, super, super fine. So if there's anything in here, it's going to be really hard to see. I mean, this is really fine stuff. I don't know if I'll be able to see anything in there. It's so fine. Oh, I can't tell. Oops. There's hard to tell. There's something in there maybe. Just trying to get this water under control and not swish back. I've got to check with my magnifying glass. There's something in there, looks like. I'll be back in a minute. Well, it was a long shot, but there's no free gold in that that bag. Some good amounts of super fine black sands though in there, but I didn't see a single speck of gold. I even looked with the microscope. I couldn't find anything, so I'll save that for later anyway. I've got a little rock crusher I'm reviewing. I'll do that in a separate video. But it's working. It's not, I don't believe it's true stainless steel though, as they call it. I think it's some kind of a coating, but I'll deal with that in the video. This stuff crushes up really nice and easy though. I'm not going to do it. I only put my hair in protection. I'll hammer it a couple times on video, but I'm doing it mostly on the floor here. But it crushes up really easily. Yeah, I'm going to dust up my camera. I'm not going to do that on camera. This is a couple of the rocks. Super fine. Here's what I sifted out. I'm going to run that again. Boy, the light in here, I'm going to fix that later. The lighting in here is horrible. I definitely need a light over my table. So I'll be running that. There's another batch. This little crusher works well. I'll be linking down below for anybody who wants to get one now. It works, and it's crushing it really good. I mean, look at how fine it is. All this will run through again, but look at how fine that is. I mean, that's nice. Can't complain. It's really working well. So there it is, all but one rock. That's all from that pouch, and a tiny bit that I keep hitting and hitting and hitting, and it doesn't want to break up so much. Just a little bit in there. So I'm going to get some water and soap in here, start panning this out. Okay, I've got everything in here. It's going to be incredibly awkward to do this on video. Okay, so my actual sluice setup is in the greenhouse, which is dark right now. It's dark out. So I'm going to attempt to do this and get it down a ways, and then I'll come back on video. This is just loaded with sulfides. It all glitters. Everything left in here glitters. I don't think I'll be able to get it on the camera. Everything in here glitters. I highly doubt I can do this. It's just all glitter. Yeah, the camera's not going to show the glittering. All of that glitters. Everything. Everything in here now. Even as I'm panning. Well, I guess you can sort of see it. Everything just sort of glitters now. Alright, I found a flake of gold. Whoop. Hello there. Right there. It's not that huge. This is a little dropper. I just want to show you, the rest of the gold is probably ultra fine, how shiny this is. I think holding this freehand I can probably show you how shiny this is. This stuff all glitters and glistens. Every bit of that glistens. It is hard to see gold in here, and it is hard to separate this out. So right now I'm panning it down, like trying to get down to the black sands. I thought I saw some black sands in here, but right now it's just all sulfides. Just a lot of sulfides. I'm not seeing any black sands yet, to be honest. And it's hard to show it because there's a lot of powder floating in here. All I've been finding is the same couple flakes again and again and again. There's one. And this dust settles in. I'm going to have to get cleaner water in here. And here's one. Right there. Whoops. Tiny. So I've got 3-4 flakes is all I'm finding in here repeatedly. Well guys, it's the next day here. As you can see, everything is settled out. Interesting, there's stuff floating on the surface of the water here. And in here. And in here, it's almost like, looks like an oily film. It's interesting. A lot of stuff wants to float from these. If you expose it to the air, it all wants to float up. It's just an interesting thing. Anyway, so this is the next day. I contacted the seller, and he confirmed what I thought. The gold is locked up in the sulfides. So to find any free gold at all is bonus. So there was 3 flakes that I could find, but that's not to be expected from this particular ore, the gold-bearing sulfides from him. He hand wrote it on there. But this is Colorado, genuine Colorado gold ore. ColoradoGoldOre.com. I can put the link down below. I don't think he'll mind. Anyway, so this is going to be a whole separate process and a separate video of its own. This stuff here is pretty much waste. It was all the ultralight floating muck. This here again was the same. That was just more of the same. I used that water to get the light stuff off. This here and this here, I'm going to, when I process this again, there's a little bit of light stuff I'll be able to get off, and combine this pan with this pan, and I'll be roasting that and see what kind of gold I can free up from the sulfides. But that's going to be something that has to be done outdoors with a lot of ventilation for safety reasons, so it's not going to happen right now. So for that reason, I'm going to close down this video and put the links down below if anybody is interested in some very challenging ore for learning experimentation purposes. And but anyway, I had to, for my work, for my process, I had to crush it anyway. And when you crush it, you may as well pan it out, see if there's any free gold, and then go ahead and do the roasting. So this was part of the process either way. So that having been said, thanks for watching this video. Please do like this video. I'm looking at it upside down. Subscribe if you haven't. I've got a lot of cool stuff to come. And there will be a follow-up with this later on. And I still do have the gold-bearing oxides from the same company. I don't know if that shows. Which I'll be processing out later on. I've also got another batch of ore from another place that I'm going to be processing out. And that contains a lot of tellurides. So this is going to be a lot of unique experiences coming up here. And I've got some black sands. I've got my sluice set up in the greenhouse, and I'm working on that. The mega sluice is set up in the greenhouse, so watch for that. Talk to you guys later.